Hello everyone and welcome to another Division 2 video. Today with a game between ColonelKoenig and SteppeKnight from, I think this is the November monthly tournament. The replay has been uploaded in December, but I think it's the November one, which would mean that Koenig got all the top Western Allied divisions banned because it was a personalized bans tournament. And that would explain the pick of 8th Indian. Now, so I also want to add that on my channel, if you go to the channel under community, there will be a poll regarding the content that you like to see the most among all the contents currently on my channel. Just helps me a little bit to decide on what I should spend how much time on. The focus will be cast anyway, and this is also what most people so far have voted for anyway, so that's great, but the other stuff still remains. However, I also should say that because I'm moving and then there's Christmas and then I start a new job, I will probably go down to the originally planned 3 videos a week instead of the 4 to 5 that I have been doing so far. And that means that I might replace a regular video every now and then with something like one of my own tournament games or a playing every division video just for the people who like that content more. But the main focus is going to be constant. If it's still possible, I'll still upload 4 to 5 a week, and then all the 3 regular ones will be cast. Just want to let you know. Also, some of the ones that will be coming next week and the week after will be probably with lower resolution again because I've already recorded them for the time that after I've moved, because then I will probably be too busy to record a lot of videos. Just want to have this out as well. But yeah, with that, let's now finally hop into the video. And we start off with first SS-Panzer Division from the latest DLC. A quite nice one. It has a lot of good tools. It has the classical German weaknesses of not having anything super cost effective at 1500 meter and lack of good CQC. But otherwise, it has some fantastic tools, and we're going to get into that in a second. So, recon type, it brings the Pumas, some Outglare, Panzer IV, and Panther D into the tab. Quite nice. You just have a lot of units here that are just better than other units. Equivalent units, so you have the Panzergrenadier Lessard. This just has some of his regular rifles replaced with some semi-automatic rifles, which just makes it automatically much better. Then you have the Panzer Pioneer Lessard, which is basically a Panzergrenadier, but you get a TNT on top of it essentially for free. And then he also brings the SS Sturmgrenadier, which is a nice little MP44 unit. In B phase, we do see some more leaders, some more Panzergrenadier. This one with the Panzerfaust, which the others I think don't have, I'm not mistaken, not 100% sure. But this one just has less men, which is unfortunate. Then we see the Panzer Sturmpioneer, which is weirdly enough not great at CQC actually, but it's great in town fights, so that's definitely nice. Tank tab. Yeah, it's Panzer IVs and Panthers and some Stück Fries. So, as I said, depending on what you're up against and your situation, this might do well or it might be a little bit lacking. Support type, you have a lot of options, but it gets relatively quickly expensive, so you have to limit yourself a little bit. He brings a classical IG-18, my MG42 guerrilla ammo, and a commander AT tab. Pretty standard, although you do get the Pak 38, which not every division has, and this is fantastic because it's such a cost-effective tool compared to the Pak 40 if you don't actually need the pen that the Pak 40 has to offer. AA tab, nice options there as well. He brings some 88s, STKF Z71, STKF Z72, and more 88s. Although I'm surprised that we don't actually see the Flak 36 that you have in A phase, because like with the STKF set and the 88, you only have expensive tools, and that can be annoying at times. Artillery tab, quite strong. I mean, one of the special things about this division is that it has the Nebelwerfer 210mm, which is a fantastic unit, and it brings both cards of it as well as some 150 Nebelwerfers in A phase and some 81mm mortars. So we can expect a RD heavy play, although on this map this is not surprising. And the Air Force, yeah, small tab, not many options. He only brings a Ju-88, and this is it. And on the other side, we do have 8th Indian Infantry, a nice division that is, I would say, around average, honestly. Like, it has all the essential tools that it needs to deal with certain things, but there's a lot of things that it doesn't have that you wish it had, that other Commonwealth divisions do have, things like Firefly, Wolverines, and so on. So yeah, it is probably around average. but it's a fun one. So Recon tab, we do have the Indian Scouts, are just a little bit more chunky than the regular ones, if I remember correctly. You have the Autocar Hammer Mark 4 in B phase, together with some more Scouts, so sniper spam there. Infantry tab, we do have the Indian Assault Pioneers. They're not different from regular ones, as far as I remember. They just have the Raider trait. Same goes for the Engineers that we see in B phase. And then you have a lot of Light Infantry in A phase, but none in B phase. It's an interesting choice. It looks like more like V for Victory to me, almost. But I mean, with how much he brings in A phase, that should last him through B as well. We do see the Indian rifles and the Gurkha rifles, new unique units for this division. They all have the Raider trait. Gurkhas also have Fanatical. The loadout is nothing spectacular. Not sure if both or just one of them has Thompsons instead of Stens, but they're not CQC anyway, so it's kind of meh. And then we do see a lot of line infantry in C phase again. Tank tab, it's all just Shermans. Surprised that he just brings one card of Sherman leader in B phase, no regular Shermans. And then the support tab is really light, just a Vickers and a Commander. So that's definitely surprising. I mean, you have the 2 KAG Sherman. Truthfully in Kropa, it's not essentially, not essential, but still, I think it's nice to have it. But he decides not to. A T tab, 6 pounders, 17 pounders. I mean, these are fine. We all know them. AA tab, Crusader Bofors, nothing special there. Artillery tab, which starts with an off map in A phase. So on a map like Kropa, where you need to get across early, and after that it kind of just turns into a long grind, this absolutely does make sense. This will help you tremendously early on, and then some more leaders, and then the 114s in B and C phase. Air tab, Spitfires in Recon Fighter and Fighter Bomber variants, although I think like the fighter is kind of redundant. If you have the Fighter Bomber, it can do the same job just fine. And the cool thing is, I think this is the good one with 2 bomb loadouts that is just marginally cheap, more expensive than the fighter, and a little bit slower, but overall I think the extra price that you pay is nothing compared to the loadout that you get. So this is a fantastic unit. And then you have the Hurricane, which I know for me it always felt nice. And then of course in C phase you have a ton of buttons for the Koenig's signature air spam. So yeah, quite interesting to see this division, and nice build. And we are back. So, as always, let's start with the deployments. Down south, very defensive deployment by SteppeKnight. Yeah, just trying to hold this bridge, which is reasonable. On the other side, Koenig does pretty much the same, although he doesn't even bring AT. And then again, his AT is slow, so if there's a Puma rushing through and some infantry is gonna arrive too late anyway. Yeah, just some infantry, this is all. In the center, same thing here. Pretty defensive overall. And the same for SteppeKnight, very defensive. Nothing major there, no pushes. Which means that both sides will probably clash up north, and we can see this here. Look at that. Koenig has a massive deployment here. So he's pushing with some tanks, some 75mm autocars, and then a lot of rifles of different sorts, supported by machine guns, some CQC to get in here as well. Wow. On the other side, SteppeKnight not going aggressive either. This is interesting. Just some AA, some infantry, and some one Puma. So, I'm just curious how this is going to turn out. I feel like SteppeKnight should have more on the map. Like, yes, his stuff is more expensive, but where? I feel like you should have this. This can't be all his points. No, this cannot be. It's a JU-88. But why? Okay. Still, I feel like he's very weakly. I mean, the 88 is expensive, I guess, and the infantry is not cheap either. Maybe that's it. I mean, Koenig has a lot of cheap infantry. Like the Sturm Pioneer are not cheap. The Assault Pioneer are not expensive. The Indian rifles are not expensive either. So yeah, maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Still feels odd. I'm surprised that SteppeKnight doesn't push aggressively though, because you kind of have to get across early on. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets to get across somewhere. So that can be problematic. Koenig getting in here. I mean, the problem is that SteppeKnight didn't actually bring any flamethrowers, so he has a harder time actually pushing forward in any position. And I mean, yeah, I was about to say the Puma will just get overwhelmed by the autocar. Still killed one. I think there were 3. right? Yeah, that was one. And there's not much shit I can... But yeah, no, never mind. The Pack 38 is actually in position. So this is a classic division for a pack position for Pack 38 to sit because he can kind of view down the road. But Koenig doing a nice little smoke play here, already throwing down smoke, ensuring that the road is safe for him to cross. That's a very heads-up play. Yeah, did here in a nice position to actually cover this off to some extent, but it, for example, doesn't see the autocar, even though it probably should, or maybe it's just sitting right out of line of sight because you're not looking like from straight above the line of sight tool can be some misleading sometimes, and sometimes it also just doesn't work all that well. That's another issue. Grenadier here forced off. Still killed the assault pioneer, I think, right? I mean, this thing shreds. There's a lot of Panzer Grenadier here and the leader, but the problem is this has already fallen, so Koenig has gotten in, and it's not gonna get easier for SteppeKnight. Now we do see a Spitfire in. The 88 should force this off. Yeah, it's a good one with 2 bombs. That's a fantastic unit right there. What's he going after? The Pack 38. Yeah, that's a reasonable choice, but unfortunately for Koenig, it's not gonna get through. So far the 88 hasn't really paid itself off though. Like, yes, it has stopped the Spitfire, but like the fact that you take an 88 over something like a Flak 36, which is cheaper, has not really made a difference yet. It might now though. It might stop the Indian rifles. Oh no, it's actually oh, okay. Nice little line of sight there. Has not killed anything though. Autocars have managed to sneak through here. I haven't noticed that. Nice positioning. Although JU88 lets SteppeKnight know that they are there. Down south, yeah, both players just chilling. I mean, makes sense. Probably wouldn't want to do a large push there at the moment. 88 just doing some work there. Pack 38 are being unloaded here. Needs to move forward to cover this off. Definitely a good choice. So SteppeKnight is... Oh, there's a commander in. I haven't noticed that. Okay, that explains a lot. I mean, this together is probably, it's what, 220 points? It should be 100. 110, so it's, yeah, this is what, 230 points already. And then you add on top that all the infantry is expensive. You have the JU88 as well. So yeah, then I can, yeah, I guess I get why SteppeKnight didn't have that much there. But Koenig is in. And, I mean, he could just throw down smoke again with the assault pioneer. It's not off the table, so... Should be hard for SteppeKnight. But as I said, he does the right thing here, right? He positions... like, he builds up his next line of defense. He doesn't do what you might do when you panic, which is calling in units desperately to stop this somehow. He accepts that he's not going to get these flags back right now. He rather needs to set up to make sure that he doesn't lose more and to support a push to get them back later. And this is what you have to do, and he demonstrates this really nicely. So love to see that. Pumas have not turned off the APCR. Might be an issue here. Autocar misses. Only one Puma is engaged, the other one has not moved forward. Oh! APCR lands but fails to kill. I think it wouldn't kill anyway because it's, yeah, only does 6 damage. The autocar should have 8, right? So the next shot will hit a kill anyway, but... Oh! The autocar spots the Puma. Puma should kill now. APCR has been turned off. Oh, but they trade. That's bad. And that's the problem with the Pumas, with how expensive they've gotten now, right? They, like, yeah, they have the APCR, but to me it always feels like a nerf because it's quite expensive and it still goes down in one shot to any medium tank and then to something like this, which is cheaper than the Puma, right? But this deals 8 damage while the Puma cannot kill this in one hit. That really sucks. And like the rate of fire is not that much different. I think it's roughly the same. So that just sucks. Although what's the accuracy? It's not. I think the accuracy is not worse than that either. You can have more veterancy on the Puma with good availability, I guess, but I don't think that makes up for it. Oh, Pack 38 finds a hit on a Sherman 5. Can he get the kill? It can. That's crucial. I mean, most things here are now infantry. There's the one autocar, and once that's dealt with, SteppeKnight might have a chance to fight his way back in. And the question is, will Koenig keep reinforcing this, or will Koenig now try to break through somewhere else? Because, once again, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. However, Koenig's push forces SteppeKnights to now reinforce in this area, which means he cannot actually make it easy for himself to reinforce these areas too. Because what happens on these river maps if you don't get across early on is both players just start reinforcing, and then either you have one big breakthrough somewhere, or it's just a big grind fest. With the latter being very common. This is the issue with these kind of river maps. Some river maps are not that bad. I think there's some that are a little bit better, like Boger, for example, where there's a few more places where you actually can get across, and it's very reasonable to get across early on this map. I think it's still possible, but it doesn't always happen. Nice little Nebelwerfer strike here. He kills one though. It's not that huge actually. So pins another one, and this one is still alive, which might be an issue. But SteppeKnight is working his way back in. Panzer here are standing right next to each other, so every suppression that they take, they both take, and that's an issue. So you want to spread them out a little bit. And now we see a plane rush. The 88 cannot stop this, I think. Actually, no, it cannot. One Panzerpinion Lassar down, and the other one is pinned. Everything gets out. So Koenig has already invested quite a bit into his Air Force. So I was wondering where his points went, but there they went. But yeah, as I said, as I was going to say, the thing that you can do, of course, if you're in Koenig's situation here, is you can then build up a next push somewhere else while your opponent is busy here. Just has to be strong enough to overwhelm whatever's here, because of course now both players had time to settle in and make sure that they can really secure these bridges. With Dusin SDKF set 7-1 now in, SteppeKnight knowing that Koenig will not stop with his planes, that this will continue. So definitely a good choice. And we all know Koenig, he loves his air spam, so you have to be ready for that. Leader now coming in to support the push here. A little bit out of the... Oh no, leader is revealed. Is getting absolutely wrecked by the Vickers and the Indian Rifles, and the Sherman might go down here. I think it's gonna die actually. Koenig has no AA, so the JU-88 can basically do whatever it wants. But I mean, Koenig... now we see Crusader. I was about to say, Koenig really needs to decide now if he wants it or not, because you kind of have to stop the recon at the same time. I mean, we've seen how expensive the air tab is, right? So if you can assume that maybe this is the only plane. Personally, I would not expect it though, because I think having some fighters is crucial, or some fighter bombers. Then you kind of get both. IJ-18 in position, but it's not really in a good position to stop any of this. Oh, Panzergrenadier Lassar is in a great spot here where he can stop the Indian Rifles, but he cannot get spotted by the Vickers or the Sherman. That's really good. Indian Rifles here putting up a fight against the Panzergrenadier, but the Panzer IV here is there to stop it. Still, 14-10 for Koenig though, as he holds this flag and that one. Currently not looking good for SteppeKnight. We see some reinforcements here now. I'm not sure if he just plans to walk these across eventually. I mean, sometimes you do see infantry going for one of these two flags right here. And then you have a little fight across the open here, but you can support that too with tanks. You just cannot push across. Unless you have some amphibic tanks, but these are for most divisions that have them, I think, in A phase. You don't get them any later anyway. Same thing here for SteppeKnights. I think both have the same idea of trying to to see what they can do here with one of the flags, or they just want to defend because they expect to push there. One of these two. More now coming in. I mean, this is definitely not a bad tool. We have unlocked B phase, so this is why we see them now. It's definitely not a bad tool for these forest and town fights. That's definitely a good choice. Koenig now falling back as all of his units were suppressed. The rifle pit here is still sitting there. needs to be forced off as well. Panzer moving forward, depending on where this goes, that can be very dangerous. Never mind, as a Sturmgrenadier, find the rifles Piat should have an easy time forcing that off. So back to a 12-12. Spitfire now going after the MG42 here. It was spotted, and now there's only a Panzergrenadier Lesar here. So looks like the Indian rifles start moving forward to poke around here a little bit and see what's there. Humber Mark 4, yeah. Koenig definitely wants to get across here and see what he can do. Supports this nicely for Humber. On the other side, we do see a Pack 40 to cover this off. Yeah, it's a little bit problematic. The problem is now the Spitfires can basically just start bombing on either of those places. And SteppeKnight only has expensive AA as we have searched. Although, never mind, now he has the SDK set 7.2, so that should definitely help. Now Nebelwerfer coming in. So SteppeKnight preparing here for another push. Oh, but Koenig has the off-map ready to go. Also an early commander in. I mean, the thing with the commander is the earlier you bring it, the better, right? And for this map, I think it's a good choice. The commanders are basically good if you have either mirror incomes where it's going to be grindy anyway, or where you're on a map that generally leads to a longer grind. Now with Maverick, you want to win as quickly as possible, so it's not actually always worth it to invest in the commander. Because you're aiming for a quick win, so you often want to have more units rather than better performing units, although of course you want to have them performing to their best ever, like in general, but especially on aggressive incomes, because you need to hold the long game. But the earlier you bring it out, the more you profit from it. So if you plan on doing it, you have to do it early. And now, oh my god. Hurricane coming in for the half track. Recon. Fighter. Yeah, the Pack 40 is going to be gone again. Yeah, so the problem is, I mean, he could already expect this, so I probably would have waited if I was SteppeKnight to bring the AA first and then bring expensive tools, because otherwise this is what's going to happen, and Koenig can now do the same thing in the south as well. I mean, I don't know, if you haven't seen the video between Protoss and Bori, go check that out, but if you have, you kind of saw what air spam can do. It can be very, very devastating. And you don't need to do it like to that extent, right? You don't need as many planes as Protoss did there. Even what the little air force that Koenig has right now can do a lot of damage. There we go again, yeah. I think he has 2 of each. Like 2 recon planes, 2 Spitfire fighter bombers, and 2 fighters yet so far. So he can continue to do that a lot. As he kept said, focus is the right target. Oh, gets strafed now by the regular Spitfire though. Nice little strafing run there. I think the SDK set is not armored, not mistaken. Up north, yeah, look at that. Everything has been secured now, but there's a lot of infantry just sitting here, and the problem is that Koenig, you know, has enough unit here, has reinforces well enough that it's going to be difficult to just easily push across for SteppeKnight. He's also done some tickets already, and now he's to put a lot of work in getting across. In my opinion, these river maps generally favor longer incomes because because it can really be difficult to get across if you don't do it right away. So I'm not sure about Maverick pick, honestly. And especially you have to push somewhere, right? I think this was the big mistake here by SteppeKnight. Like, he didn't actually try to push anywhere, but you have to get across from the start whenever possible, otherwise it's going to be really difficult. TKF set is in a bad spot here, might not be able to have a line of sight on the Hurricane for long enough. Because the Hurricane probably would have tried to strafe it. But it's forced off. There's 2 mortars here as well. I mean, these are also a good target for the Hurricane. Sniper here opening up. Oh, you haven't actually checked him out. I mean, you will have seen it anyway. Yeah, it's just a little bit chunky than the usual squad. You will have seen it anyway, but I haven't actually double checked after recording the decks. Panzergrenadier, Lazar forcing some snipers off here, but the Indian rifles are there as well. Now, This just two in their brands, but 2-on-1, especially with the help of a sniper, can still do a lot. I mean, especially if the Spitfire's there. I'm surprised that Koenig doesn't, or did he turn on off one bomb set? I haven't noticed. Surprised that he doesn't do that, because he definitely can. And Koenig does have the micro capabilities to do that for sure. So yeah, we see the typical push here across in these forests, and then he can kind of try to go for this flag, but the mortars are denying him that. The problem is, off-map here just went down, didn't actually do much, but the problem for SteppeKnight is that he still has to get across, right? And it's, even though, like, he has the income advantage, so he should have the strength to do it, but it doesn't get all that much easier. So far his strategy seems to be mostly spending his income advantage into backline units, like with all the Nebelwerfers, which can definitely pay off, but you still need to make sure that you then have the force to push across. Now, if you look here, like, these are expensive units, and he has a lot of them, so I think the forces are there. It just needs to prepare this so that he can actually do it. Like, this AT gun needs to go, this blob here needs to go. Because unless he can clear this blob out here, he needs a tank to do it. The problem is, if the tank gets across, then you have, of course, this problem. If you send the infantry first, this blob will stop the infantry. But it looks like he has spotted it. The recon plate definitely helped there. But the armor is still alive. Off-map going down again. Interesting choice. Koenig doesn't actually try to push. I think he just wants to delay SteppeKnight, which of course is good in this case because it allows him to reinforce. Or actually push. Yeah, look at that. So the infantry that he had on sound was used for a push. So Koenig did eventually do what I talked about, right? He just waited a little bit longer with pushing here as well, making sure that he's well reinforced up there and starting to buy his air force. This is also a good example of when you can buy your air force, right? When you are already doing well, right? Koenig was over here, and you know that he can retreat back here, and it is always, it's generally easy to defend, but if you have a river with only one crossing for vehicles, it is especially easy to defend. So Koenig was in a perfect spot here to actually start investing into his air force. Oh, look at that. Recon Spitfire was shot down by the SDKF Z71. Not 88 here as well, so there's plenty of AA. Problem is now, yeah, SteppeKnight had to invest a lot into his AA. Koenig has invested a lot into his Air Force too, though. So, might not get that much value out of it. Although if he can start the Boston spam sea phase, that's going to be disgusting. Spitfire, Blob, not Blob, Duo in once again. I mean, should be able to get there. I don't think the 88 can stop it before he can get there. Especially if he goes after the recon plane, which came in first. Panzerstürmpanier did cheekily grab this flag, but now it's forced off. Still 13-11 for Koenig, or not still, once again. And now we see some AA coverage already, and the Sherman pushing forward. Has to be careful, the Panzer... Oh no, the Panzerschreck has been spotted by the scouts. That's a problem. Panzerpanier have been pushing too far forward. Indian rifles take them out. That's ballsy. Might still get killed by the Panzerschreck. I guess Koenig didn't actually notice that it was there. He has to have. Panzerschreck was moved out of the building. Can it shoot now? He cannot. Sherman has moved away, so Koenig is paying attention now. He has microed it well. 88 cannot hit the Sherman, so Sherman gets away. And I think the Panzerschreck will probably die very soon. I mean, the Indian rifles Indian field engineers must have spotted it. Up north, we do see a push now by SteppeKnight, but Koenig has put the off-map down to delay it. Oh, SDK set might go down. That would be a big issue. This thing is really necessary here. If this dies, that's going to be absolutely devastating. I think don't know what. We can't check. I hate that you cannot check. I'd love to know what off-map that is. Panzerstürmgrenadier has pushed forward once again, but now the Sherman is going to re-grab this flag. This thing doesn't have, yeah, this thing doesn't have AT. That's a nice loadout though, so it has, you know, with the two MG42s, it's probably going to be in range finds anyway. Then for anything that's get close, it has the MP44. So this is actually not bad at range. TKF Z71 has been hit by something, it looks like. Don't know what. Maybe the snipers have been working on them. I see a massive, wow, burst of Nebelwerfers. So, AT gun still alive though. Don't know I don't think anything was here, right? I think it just assumed, because it's a common spot to put stuff, so I think it just, like, put the Nebelwerfer strike there just in case. Yeah, so Sturmgrenadier cannot do anything against that Sherman. But the Sherman is not in range for the 50 cal. Looks like Koenig has noticed and is backing up, and the Sturmgrenadier can technically kill the 6-pounder, or at least suppress it, because once it's suppressed, these can move in, right? And they can finish it off. A blob of Panzer IVs now moving forward. They can definitely kill the Sherman here. They can also kill the 6-pounder. Looks like Koenig is calling it back now, though. Panzer A in down south as well. Not sure if this was really necessary. Oh, but the 17-pounder is there. That's dangerous. I mean, the 17-pounder doesn't have the easiest time at range to kill the Panther, but it will very realistically pen that Panther. There we go, first pen. And some more, oh, now we see the first Boston. Panther bouncing again. Panzer IV blob moving in. Panzer Champigny following up. It's still 12-12 though, so SteppeKnight needs to find another flag. Looks like the AA here did go down. I think the Crusader was there. Another Boston coming in. Yeah, the SDK set is here and the 88 will help. The Boston might actually die to this. Oh no, because the SDK set has refocused on the Hurricane. Now it's focusing the Boston. The SteppeKnight manually focusing that. He just wanted to stop this then and still tries to kill the Boston. Boston gets out though. Boston in the center also got out. Got a nice little bombing strike off there. Nebelwerfer going after the 17-pounder. Misses though, because the 17-pounder was already on the move. Panda A still alive, but took a pen. Now Spitfires are following up. One gets the bombs off, kills a Panzer IV. I mean, it has a massive loadout, so I'm not surprised by that. The SDKF set, unfortunately, is not able to claim a kill here. Oh, another Panther here. Gets hit by both the 6 and 17-pounder. It's under a lot of fire. Panzer IV here, and the SDKF set moving forward, trying to fight this 6-pounder. It's 6-pounder is not within APCR range, so it shouldn't do much to the Panther. The 17-pounder, on the other hand, yeah, will kill it. Half-track just moving forward, trying to grab the flag, I have to imagine. Problem is this might lead to an incursion. Oh no, Sturmpioneer saves the day. 13-11 now for SteppeKnight. Very delayed, but I mean, truthfully, especially if most of the Maverick income advantage goes into backline units, it usually takes some time for the income difference to really show an effect. So it's not very uncommon for Maverick to manage a big breakthrough in B phase. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, he can clear this out, probably, or he should be able to eventually. One with mortars just blind firing. First one is not in the right spot. The other ones are not too bad. It's not much of an old commander is in a dangerous spot here. Might die eventually. That would be bad. Oh, but Koenig is already building up his artillery, although it's very risky. Having them right next to each other, not sure if this is the right choice. He goes after the SDKF sats, the mortars. They haven't been moved, so solid choice. Problem is one Nebelwerfer strike can probably hit both of these, so I would probably spread them out a little bit. Then again, it's not super effective to go over artillery. Like at that range, just the spread will be quite big, so this might not be the best call. Indian Rifle versus Panzergrenadier. Panzergrenadier is already low, and the one thing that the Bren is actually good at is killing. Right, not so good at suppression, but it's good at killing, so... But it looks like the Panzergrenadier will load first, so it will shoot and finish off the Indian Rifles before the Indian Rifles can do that to the Panzergrenadier. Indian Scouts, though, can definitely do the job. Strike going after 17-pounder. 17-pounder is not there anymore. 16-8 now for SteppeKnight, as he finally forces off the infantry that used to be here. He re-grabbed the flag with his SS Sturmgrenadier, and he got the 3 flags up here. Commander still alive. As a Sturmgrenadier moving forward here, he should be able to kill off the Gurkha rifles. Especially, yeah, these are not within submachine gun range, and they do have some Thompsons, three of them. That would have made a difference, but now it doesn't. Oh, SteppeKnight is so close from killing this commander. Oh, Ju-88 got a little bit too deep in. Spitfire is too fast, overshoots. Ju-88 is being called back, but I think the Spitfire might get on the back of it if Koenig really tries to. If he micros them well enough. If not, they might be forced off. by the AA. 6 and 8 still though. So looking good all of a sudden. More AA coming in, that might be a reasonable choice. I mean, now the Bostons are in, so you're probably going to need it, especially in the center, because one of these, unfortunately, probably not going to do the job. The AAs also move forward here. The problem is, if SteppeKnight now gets forced off, he will lose them. The 88 here, oh no, it's pushing forward, that's why it's missing. Yeah, look at that. The 210 is now going after this block. I mean, the 210 is still potent enough. It has still enough of a punch and small enough of a spread that it might be able to hit them. I will probably go with 2 though, because at this range with the spread and the damage might not be enough. Oh, kills 1 though. I mean, yeah, that's the problem, right? If you have both next to each other, even if you don't get, like, there's a chance that both die, but even if not, there's a good chance that you get at least 1. So you probably don't want to have this. Panzer now moving in, rifle speed suppressed. Oh, but Sherman saves the day. Ooh, Panzergrenadier now spots the Indian rifles as a Sturmgrenadier. While not the greatest thing in the forest, definitely better than the Indian rifles. I mean, in these kind of ranges, SteppeKnight should be doing very well. Oh, but Koenig can try to work his way back in here now. Has already regrabbed this flag. Oh, look at that! We've missed it, but the commander did go down. Wow. Yeah, that's bad. Sherman leader versus Panzer IV. Panzer IV bounces on the Sherman. Continues to bounce. Sherman does not. Panzer IV gets the kill. Hurricane is forced off the no. Yeah, it looks like it hit the Panzer IV. A little. Ooh, not what I wanted to do. Doesn't look too damaged though. Might have bounced a little bit. Oh. Bitfires and Boston's now coming in. Yeah, this is gonna hit no matter what. It's probably gonna go down. Yeah, I mean, if 2 of these hit, you're gonna die. Boston goes for the same one as well. Wow. He really wants that dead. Still 15-9 though, so looking good so far. Problem is, Koenig still has more tickets than SteppeKnight does currently. But SteppeKnight's in a decent position. Like, as I said, right, it's the longer it goes, the more stuff is there to prevent anyone from crossing. Now with the income advantage, this is not so true anymore because of course Koenig will have more income the longer the game goes. So as long as SteppeKnight manages to take down Koenig enough and then just defend, he should be in a good position. And having a good backline definitely helps him there. He's now pushing down south as well, although he's not very strong. Here, yeah, he has a panda, but he can't use it because of the 17-pounder. The infantry push is not super strong. These need to follow up as well. Nebelwerfer helping, going after the Bofors, I presume? No, 17-pounder, yeah, but the 17-pounder is on the move. Yeah, I don't think going after these units, if Koenig keeps them on the move, is the best way to go here. The Panzersturmpanzer will probably die because it's very low in health, even though the loadout is much better than the Rifle Piet for this situation. Gurkha Rifle forced off though. That's going to lose him to 15-9. Yeah, now we're back to 14-10. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Yeah, Panzergrenadier here doesn't want to fight the engineers at this range. Indian rifles have been spotted out. The problems are going to be the engineers here. He regrabs his flag for the time being though. Recon in now. Boston yeeting its bomb onto the Sturmpanzer. Yeah, it's going to go down. Yeah, and all of a sudden, SteppeKnight's position here is not looking super strong. So yeah, the problem with these Bosons is they will usually survive, so yeah. Like they can just continue to provide value. Oh, also 88 is running out of ammo. These are once again close together, but I think this time the threat of the Nebelwerfer should be too big to hit both of them. And he brings an artillery commander with it to make them even more effective. It's always great to see if people actually use it for what it is intended for. It doesn't happen all that often. But I've seen Koenig doing it multiple times, and I mean, it really does make a difference. SteppeKnight is now up in tickets, but like if you look at his actual front line, there's not that much there. Like a lot of his units are on the ground are AA or artillery. Like this hold here is easy to break for Koenig once he really commits to it. This here as well. And then, yeah, this flag you already got back. Right here, there's also not like, it's 2 leaders. It's not that much infantry here actually. SteppeKnight also has a very low infantry number, and he has been using a lot of infantry. So this is like a typical SteppeKnight thing, I feel like. So far, most games that I've seen him playing, he uses very few infantry numbers. There's 2 videos upcoming that I've actually recorded before that, but I just haven't uploaded them yet. That are kind of my reserve for when I don't have time to upload between SteppeKnight and a Valzer. 2 great games, by the way, but there he does the same thing with very few infantry numbers. I don't want to spoiler you, so I'm not going to tell you if it works out or not, but it's just a thing that I've noticed. It seems to be a common theme for SteppeKnight. Personally, I would be really afraid of using that few infantry. But I mean, if you know, if you can do it, if you're an expert at this, then it's great, but I cannot do this. And so far, it doesn't seem out to work great for him, right? I mean, he has the flags, but what's he gonna do once Koenig's pushing him back? And Koenig has infantry for days, and he can keep fighting in these positions here, or like here. He can easily like kind of dominate this section here as well once he gets in, and then it's gonna be super hard for SteppeKnight to really get back in there and defend these flags. Like, don't get me wrong, like the units, the Sturmgrenadier and the Panzersturm Pioneer are great tools for these areas, but if you don't have them, that's not going to help you much. More Nebelwerfer strikes now, going after the artillery again, I have to imagine. Yeah, look at that. Oh, first one gets a kill. Second one is actually moving in, but yeah, no, not happening. Now Nebelwerfer strike going after this. I'm not sure if this is actually needed. Yeah, the Sturmpioneer out in the open is not the choice. Oh, and another Nebelwerfer strike on this section here. Humber here bullying some Panzergrenadier Lazar. Nebelwerfer strike here hits quite nice as well, but it doesn't bring in the flag back. He's still on a 14-10 though. And, you know, we are almost 35 minutes in the game, so there's we're close to the point where there's only 15 minutes left, and Koenig still needs to equal things out first and then take SteppeKnight down. That being said, 15 minutes is like, if Koenig can stabilize soon, 15 minutes is more than enough for Koenig, even on a single tick, to still win the game. Like we can see right now, like this much can be done in just 14 minutes. So, and the difference is not that big here. So Koenig needs even less to equal out. He still needs to get across. But if I look at the situation here, I'm not so sure if this is going to be that big of an issue, to be honest. And Koenig has, we shouldn't forget that Koenig has a big air force. SteppeKnight also has a lot of AA, but the Bostons are hard to stop, so Koenig's about to regrab this. I mean, there's basically nothing here in the town when it comes to resistance. The SDK set 7-1. Oh, 88 goes down. That's really bad. And the SDK set 7-1 is in a bad position. Like, it cannot fall back now. And it will probably die relatively soon. And that's a lot of the AA here, especially since the 88 went down. And at this point, it's not easy to be replaced, right? Now, there's an SDK set 7-2 here at Triple Star. It's definitely going to do a lot, but it's not going to stop the air spam that Koenig can do. By no means. So he needs more of those now. Not sure if he has them. I think he does he have 4? I like to think that he has. Not sure what's the WEC curve on these, honestly. Not sure if it's basically the same as the Flak 36, because then he can get 4 at single vet, or if it's the same as the SEK set 7-1. In that case, you would only get 2 at single vet. If this is the case, he's in big trouble now. Humber pushes, oh, Panzerschreck saves the day, so the SDK set 7-1 gets to live for a little bit longer. The problem is, it also needs to make a difference at some point, otherwise, like, it dying doesn't really matter all that much, because like, even the 2 of them can probably not stop this, but what you want of it probably is to shoot down one of the planes that is pushing forward and then kind of picking apart Koenig's air force. But yeah, look at that. Now he's just swarming him. Killing a unit here, killing a unit here. and none of these can do anything to stop it. Also, I think both of them, yeah, both of them are in a rather bad spot where they don't actually have that good of a line of sight that goes super far, which of course is problematic. 1410. SteppeKnight has pushed back in here. He's doing another push with a Panzersturmpanzer. Yeah, this is definitely a good tool here. It should win against the Indian field engineers and the rifles Piat. So SteppeKnight doing a great job with the limited tools that he has in C phase, and that he especially can get in C phase, of still pressuring Koenig and keeping him on the tick. And the difference is just increasing over time. And Koenig still has to get across eventually. However, if you look at the situation on the map, as I said, SteppeKnight's front line is not very strong, and he especially hasn't really invested that much in his defenses that will prevent Koenig from eventually, you know, pushing across. And that's probably going to be the bigger issue. SDKF set 7-1 is now under fire. SDKF set 7-2. It should move. SDKF set 7-1, in the meantime, has been killed off. Don't know about what, but something has killed it. Not a Nebelwerfer barrage going after. We can't see because it's a Nebelwerfer, not a regular artillery gun. After the Sherman, yeah, misses though. A recon now in once again. Where's this going? Yeah, that's a good choice. I mean, SteppeKnight needs to start reinforcing this. Also might want to reposition this, although the Sherman is not really pushing forward too aggressively so far. Half-Track gets spotted by the 17-pounder. Panzersturmpanzer would be the great tool here, but not if it's out in the open. You need to have it in the town. Still 1410. Oh, Koenig building up a lot of artillery now. And, oh, they get the SDK set 7-2. That's bad. That's really bad. So there's no way up north now. And this is also, I mean, whenever Koenig realizes, this is also where the Nebelwerfers are. So Koenig can now start bombing these Nebelwerfers. And the Nebelwerfers do a lot of work. They've also missed several times, but they're still doing a lot of work. But yeah, look at how weak he is here. There's a Panzer IV, there's a Pak 38, so that can still do a lot of work. But there's not that much infantry, and if Koenig manages to push across here, things will probably not look that good for Steppe. It's the ammo situation here. Yeah, it's running low on ammo too. It still has ammo trucks though, so it's not like he's not going to be able to use his Nebelwerfers, but he needs to resupply them. It's using more for the 81mm mortars as well. So yeah, he will run out eventually. Rifle Spit will easily kill this off. 88 is in a dangerous spot here as well. Like it's here to also hold off any pushes and support and whatnot, but of course that also means it's in a riskier position to get shot at by support weapons, and it should be visible, so Koenig can eventually decide to go after it. It's currently not doing this though. It's going after this blob here. I mean, yeah, Koenig is just methodically picking apart everything here that is crucial for SteppeKnight's defense, and should eventually allow him to push in here. Panzergrenadier Lassard trying to push forward, but gets absolutely wasted. That was to be expected. I mean, I think at this point you just kind of have to turtle up here. So much you can do. Look at that blob of artillery and two artillery leaders. Wow. Koenig really putting a lot, or valuing the veterancy and reduced spread of his artillery a lot. And I mean, it is very helpful in general, first of all, and then second of all, the 114 is not the best tool in my experience. Not sure about the accuracy. Oh, Koenig has just saved up for all the Bostons, and he's just going for it. And I think now he realizes how weak, or not how weak, that there is no AA. So another one coming. So that's 5 Bostons, and there's more Spitfires as well. Yeah, look at that. Now he targets the ammo truck, this Spitfire going into the back lines. So now he could even follow up with the fighter bomber Spitfires and start bombing these Nebelwerfers. SteppeKnight needs to move them now, or they are going to get bombed or shot at by artillery, one of the two. But, you know, SteppeKnight's still in the 1410, but his northern flank will now just be picked apart. I mean, look at how few units are left. His infantry, his tanks, everything is bombed, shelled, whatever. And the infantry is now just overwhelmed. And now Koenig can push. This thing is basically the only thing that's holding this right now. Because the infantry will be overwhelmed. The Sherman can move forward. And as I said, the Pack 38 needs to stop that. Otherwise, he's basically doomed. Because like Koenig can grab this one. He can then push forward for that one. This one's going to be free for grabs as well. Maybe even this one, because there's no backline here. Now, there's another 88 coming in, but I think it's a little bit too late. I think other tools would probably be a better investment to actually stop the push here. Especially because the 88 is expensive, and it's not going to stop this air spam now. It's like, you need more 88 than just that. 12-12. Once this flag flips, which it will, very soon. The Company, while being great, cannot probably not win against both rifles Piat. Although it gets assisted by the Panzer Grenadier Lassar, might be able to win this. Piat will kill his SAKF set as well though. Oh, now it's spreading its fire on the Gurkha rifles. Oh, and I think it's going to win this. It's going to win this with the help of these units. Wow. SteppeKnight holding this flag, but Koenig has managed to push across. He is holding this flag, he holds that flag. AT gun here did go down to all this artillery. Koenig is grabbing more artillery still. 8 minutes left, still 12-12. So Koenig now needs to turn this around well enough to actually make up for this. Because he has, yeah, I mean, this is Koenig has less than half of this, and he has less than half of the time that he needs to take him down to left to do it. So he needs a triple tick now. Single tick is not gonna do. Although, yeah, he just needs to grab this and then he got it. And I don't see how SteppeKnight's gonna get back in here. Koenig can also even try to push for this because once again the 88 probably not gonna stop all of this. Panzerschreck here is in a great position, but the Shermans are not pushing forward. Or the Sherman is only one, and the Crusader, of course. Nebelwerfer now going after this blob. The problem is, yeah, Koenig can just move his units. Panzerschreck's gonna pick up the Sherman here, though. Down it goes. It's not retargeted. It's only going after one Indian scout, and it's not super cost effective. This flag re-grabbed. Oh no, this one wasn't lost. What did he do? Oh, he's still holding this one. So 13-11 once again. SteppeKnight holding on. Can he do it though? I mean, it's going to be enough if he can just delay the triple tick for as long as he can, right? If the triple tick comes too late, he will still win this. Oh, Nebelwerfer goes down. I mean, there's probably no ammo for it anyway. He's used them a lot. Curious to see how much they actually did, because, as I said, he also blind bombed some areas or shot at some moving targets. I missed because of that. Now there's another airplane blob coming in. Sorry. I think it's gonna break this line. Hurricane is just gonna shred this Stug. Everything here can get bombed. I don't know what the Spitfire is going after. This blob here. Yeah, now Koenig can probably just spread all across here, like grab this, and that would be absolutely devastating. I mean, Koenig definitely knows how and when to invest into supporting units like artillery and planes. And he's using them very effectively too. Yeah, 88 did go down, the Stug did go down, so this is all that's holding. And I really do think that, because you don't see that much coming from SteppeKnight, I think he's out of infantry now. Or almost out of it at least. 38 here. Ah, bounces? Wow. I mean, its pen value is the armor of the Sherman, but at this range, would expect it to pen. And now the triple tick is coming. So let's see. Oh, no, that's still coming. Because now it goes down, the half-track can't hold it. 4 minutes left, 9 minutes to tick him down completely. What's the half of that? Yeah, might be close. Might be close. 14-10 again. It's gonna be a tight one. Calling this right now, it's gonna be very tight. Oh, but this one's gonna go again to the two Bostons. Sec going down here. Strumpany is not holding for long either because the 114s are now shooting at it. Leader together with the 88 pushing across here. 88 finding 17 pounder, which, I mean, Still kind of preventing this Panther from moving, which he could still forward here to support, I think. I mean, now he should do this. 16-8. Ooh, it's going to be super close. The problem is if Koenig can find 2 more flags, this is game over for SteppeKnight, because then it's definitely decided. Right now, it's still close. Not sure if it's going to be enough. But if Koenig can find 2 more flags, that's this done. Boston's now pushing forward. Yeah, that's probably going to give him this flag. This flag is already grabbing. Separate also, if he's out of infantry, the only thing that he can send in now are tanks, and these are not super fast. The problem with artillery is, of course, while it can still be used in a defensive setting, it's not great if your opponent is moving. You can have to lead the shots, and this is possible to some extent, but it's not great. Yeah, the problem is now triple tick, or quadruple actually, I think. So now SteppeKnight is really not gonna make it. Koenig will take SteppeKnight down enough for him to grab the win. SteppeKnight really he just needs to find a flag now. Then it might still be doable. If he can grab this one, maybe he still has a chance. Maybe. Do these have machine guns? No, they don't. So they can't do anything against the Gurkha rifles. So Kevset is out of ammo. There's basically nothing left. There's a Panzer coming down south. I'm not sure if this is the choice. I think right now he needs to invest right here to keep the flags. Oh, back to 17-7, 16-8. Only 2 minutes left. That's going to be super close. But Hurricane's going to come for the Panzer here. Okay, maybe he needs the Panzer 4 down here. Spitfire's going to bomb this. If the Panther goes down, that's probably going to be this flag flipping. Maybe this as well. Oh, he lost line of sight, and the Hurricane's going to be forced off by the SKF Z71. That's crucial. 18-6 once again, as I think the rifle Piats probably killed this, what's it called? The Stück here? Yeah, nothing coming in. A leader. Yeah, he's definitely out of ammo. We've seen this already in a game on the channel against Yapasa, I think, where I feel like SteppeKnight could have won this if he had more infantry left. And he got very close in the end. Yeah, now he's just moving forward in order to try and grab flags. The problem is, if these units have AT, they might be able to stop that. 1.5 minutes left. So if he managed to bring it back, it might just be enough. It might. Someone needs to stop the right Spitfire. Probably not going to. No, he's firing at the wrong one. So the Panther, I think, has already been penned once. Oh no, it saves the day. Wow. But yeah, he needs to find the flag. The mortar half-track did go down. Leader here holding this. Crusader pushing forward, grabbing this flag. Yeah, this seals the fate. SteppeKnight will not have a chance to find any flags, and he will lose this game. Koenig should equal out any second. And 21-3, look at that. He might even win this now before the timer runs out. Is he gonna go for grabbing everything? He can oh no, there's a leader, he cannot encircle it. Is he gonna grab all the flags? That would be hilarious. All he needs to do is kill these off. That's maybe a little bit too much to ask for. And SteppeKnight surrenders with Koenig grabbing all but 3 flags. What? No, yeah. Wow, what a game. And look at the trades. Koenig out trading SteppeKnight, but only by 1,000 points. So it's not as big as I thought it was. But SteppeKnight just had nothing to call in anymore. I feel like in the end that could really hold the line in the way that he needs it to, and that's what broke him in the end. Let's look at the trades. Spitfire, I got some good kills. This Spitfire, look at that. So many kills, so much value. The Hurricane as well, easily paid itself off. Sherman, well, 114, look at that thing. Look at that thing go. Kill 2 mobile AAPs as well. That should not have happened. The Bostons didn't actually do that much, but I mean, it's kind of hard. We would have to rewatch every airstrike to see, but it's very realistic that these still enabled Koenig to actually get in which case they did pay off. I mean, we have no doubt that Koenig managed to get in and win this. The question is just how big of an extent were Boston responsible for this. But I think we should not underestimate the effect that these had. Nebelwerfer. I mean, the Nebelwerfer did do a lot of work, right? This one actually killed a lot. So bring it early might not have been the worst call because, I mean, it allowed SteppeKnight to get across and it easily paid itself. I mean, killed 2 artillery pieces as well. Like, that's that's pretty big. What else do we have? Some support weapons and infantry units did super well. The Panther actually did some killing as well. Pretty nice there. 81 with more. They got 2 Shermans. I haven't noticed that. That's pretty nice as well. It looks like the other Nebelwerfer was kind of underperformed. Yeah, I feel like SteppeKnight just did too many strikes on moving targets and too many blind strikes or just areas that had like one unit there that was not that crucial anyway. And he wastes a lot of Nebelwerfer strikes this way. With how limited the amount of strikes are when you have Nebelwerfers, you have to be very careful with how you use them. I use them very well at sometimes and then sometimes not so well, I feel like. But yeah, great game. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day and see you next time.